As we head into the international break, I thought I'd take a little look at the League Two managers. Who is the best and who is the worst? I'm going to rank them from hit to shit, and we're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. It's all about ranking each and every one of the current League Two managers. That's right. There are 24 names in the pot. Who is the best? Who is the worst? I'll show you in a second. Of course, if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. One-stop shop for EFL, League Two, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all here under one rooski. That's right. We're going to have our tier list system drugged out from the cold here and bring it back into the forefront and rank them in just a second. What I want to tell you before this is how we're going to do this. What is this grading scale judged upon and how we're doing it? I'll talk about that in just one second. Again, big shout out to the patrons, back shout out to the members. You know who you are. And again, if you're interested, take a little look down below. So yes, we are going to grade, or I'm going to grade each and every one of these managers on three different things, and those things are success or success/failure. Of course, if a manager's been pretty shit over the course of time, it's going to be apparent, and that's going to be a way against them in our grading criteria. So success/failure. Experience. Is he just a flash in the pan? Is he a one-season wonder, or has he got a track record to his name as well? And finally, the third criteria that I'm going to be using in my judging of each and every one of these managers is appeal. Of course, if you look some scenarios, you might see an ex-player, for example, Charlie Adam, formerly of Liverpool, formerly of Rangers. He might have a bit of appeal to him, whether he was as a player or maybe just as a quality manager. So those things all bearing in mind when, of course, coming to grade these managers. So without further ado, let's jump into the tier list and have a go and ranking each and every one of these managers. Alrighty then, here we go with the first one, and that is Stuart Maynard coming at you from Notts County. Of course, tremendous job so far, taking over from Luke Williams last season, and they've spearheaded Notts County's rise towards the top end of the table. Not job done yet, but coming at you at the start of November, they're in a good position. But what comes to me with the situation with Maynard and Notts County, what is the appeal here? Is it the coach? Is it the club? Of course, it is the oldest club in football. Am I thinking that? But we'd all love to see them back competing at the higher level. Is he one of the best managers in this division? No, and quite overwhelmingly not. I put him probably between B and C at the moment. We're riding just about where I would want to put him, but I'm probably going to earmark him in the C category with this. He's not great, he's not bad, but there are definitely better names in the mixer. Starting, and maybe this guy could be one of those, it is Stephen Clements. A little bit hard done by at Gillingham last season, or the season prior, I'm not too sure. But landed back on his feet with Barrow, and he has them chipping away towards the top end of the table and compete with players well above their station. They're not heavyweights in this league. He's done an absolutely tremendous job in grinding them where they are. Again, I tip Barrow to struggle this season. They did all right last season. And Stephen Clements is already earning a nice pedigree at this level. That is League Two. Again, can we push him towards the top end of the scale here? Probably not, but definitely a coach that's been, it's on the right track, especially in the lower echelons of EFL League Two. I'm going to give him a little bit of a head bumper ahead of Maynard there. I'm going to put him into the B category. I think he's done great at, hard done by at Gillingham perhaps. Because as you can see, they're struggling right now under their own mentorship. But right now, Clements is doing a pretty good job, and I'll put him in the Bs as we roll into the next coach here, and that is Simon Weaver at Harrogate Town, former goalkeeper, if my memory serves me correctly, doing a great job just keeping these guys afloat. Yeah, not too sure about him right now. Would I also, despite the three category success, experiences, and appeal, if we were to do a draft, where would I want this guy? Where would this guy feature if I was going to pick from the top coaches? He wouldn't be there, would he? He would not be there. So I don't see him being a first choice candidate. But you've got to give him credit for what he's doing right now at Harrogate. And again, I'm going to put him, unfortunately, a bit of a vanilla one right now into C. He's definitely punching above his weight in regards to resources. But doing the business as. Next up, we go Scott Lindsay. That's right, Scott Lindsay coming at you at the helm over at MK Dons, that's right, did a fantastic job with Crawley last season. Of course, was promoted with Crawley to League One, and they started off pretty rough with him this campaign. But tremendous football. I watched that player final last year, and I thought they were good for it. Good. Definitely deserved the win. And right now, it's slowly but surely definitely made a good switch in regards to MK Dons. They do have the resources to meet his kind of football. And right now, it might not be clicking, but I think he is definitely one of the better coaches in this division at the moment. Top, is he in the A bracket? Not so much, but definitely has the success, got the experience as well. So definitely a contender to be there or thereabouts. But I've just have him shy in the B tier for me. As we look forward to the next one, which is a man who's like a little bit of Marmite. He goes by the name of Paul Cook. Paul Cook been sticking it out with Chesterfield for a while now. I remember him when he was a manager of Wigan, and he did an okay job with Wigan. Actually steered them back to the championship and winning the title, but decided to walk away. I don't know if he walked away or if he was fired, but his next job was that of Chesterfield, and he's stuck with them and managed to get them back into the Football League. It's taken a couple of years, but the loyalty is there. He's loyal to the cause. He's very successful. He's definitely got the experience. I'm going to put him up there. And again, they're not flying high just yet. Well, they're up there, but they could do with a couple more wins to the belt. But I do think they'll be contenders for at least playoffs. So it could be a return to the third tier at the end of the season for Chesterfield with Paul Cook at the helm. Next up, a guy who's been around the block as well for a while, and that is Nigel Atkins. When he was appointed as Tranmere manager, I thought, you know what, this is the right move, and they're going to go in the right direction. Of course, his track record is great, but it is a little bit dated. Of course, he's not going to be managing in the Premier League or the Championship anytime soon, unless something really batshit crazy is going on. As for his stock is probably on the wane right now. I think he's more closer to a technical football kind of level than he is as that of a manager. I think this is definitely a backup plan for Tranmere, because they didn't initially have him as a manager. He's just kind of fallen into that category. Again, asked me this 10 years ago, he's probably a B and an A category candidate, but right now, I wouldn't, we have a couple of historical, or at least names from the past that were once elite, but these guys are now definitely not elite. So I'm going to unfortunately put Mr. Atkins all the way down at a D right now. I think he's his football might not be in the right period of time. I think Tranmere might be best wise to consider somebody else. Meanwhile, we go to this guy. I believe he's over at Newport County, Nelson Jardem. I think, wasn't he formerly of Burton? Again, which means straight away your hands are tied with what you can accomplish at that level. And I think at Newport County, I haven't looked at the table right now, but they're doing all right. I think they're doing pretty well. And again, I think he's operating at a standard better than what's available to his peers, perhaps. I think he's doing all right in the grand scheme of things, but realistically, he's not really setting the place on fire. So I'm going to go with a C for Nelson Jardin, but it is more leaning towards a D, especially when you look at his record of who he has managed in the past and the results that followed. So Nelson Jardin in the middle there at C. Let's go to Carlisle's appointment, which is Mike Williamson, formerly of MK Dons, who were a little bit hard done by last season to not get promoted. But Carlisle in a bit of a pickle right now and need results and fast. I think he's a good coach. I don't know what the problem is at Carlisle, because of course they were relegated last season, and you would think a manager of this caliber would be getting the results out of them, but it's struggling for them right now. And I don't really want to grade Mike Williamson on the performances of Carlisle, but more due to his career as a whole. So, to label him in D right now, and I know I'm looking at Nigel Atkins right now and looking at him, seeing him down there in the D. You might be thinking, well, you're just doing the same with him. You kind of remarking on him on his performances right now than in particular his career. His career was stellar. But his stock is on the wane, Nigel Atkins, whereas Mike Williamson, his stock is on the rise. He's been sought out by Carlisle to get him out of this pickle, and right now he's finding it difficult. So in all of that, jibber jabber, I'm going to just stick him in a C, because I think he is a good coach. I just think right now it's not working out. I do think they've made the right call. Next up, we go to Michael Flynn, Walsall, I believe. Doing doing all right. They're flying high right now. And again, Michael Flynn is one of those names that goes to. Well, there's a couple of them in this pot here. Graham Alexander is another one of when a job comes available in League Two, maybe even League One. Michael Flynn's name gets banded around. He seems to be a steady pair of hands at this level and does seem to get teams moving in the right direction. What is missing is more promotions for Michael Flynn. He's doing great right now for Walsall. I'm putting him in a B. I think he's doing bits right now for the Saddlers, and they could be an outside bet to get promoted. Speaking of Saddlers, we have Matt Sadler, that's right, coming at you right here, right now. Another set of hands that, seems to be banned around the lower leagues here. Not the most exciting of coaches, but not a terrible appointment, but really it's not going to get you off this seat. And again, if you're doing a draft, this guy's name will probably be towards the back end of your hit list here. So I'm going to go and stick him down here in a bit of a vanilla category, and that is C for Matt Sadler. Next up, we go Mark Bonner. That's right, coming at you out of Gillingham, formerly of Cambridge. It's not had the best spell right now here at the Gills. Who are tipped to go very, very well, maybe automatics, if not their playoffs. Started off nice and good, and they were leading the charge. But right now they've hit a right old rough patch, and of course he could be on his way out. Then of course sticking around for the long term. I think it's a very important part of the season for Gillingham, and of course Mark Bonner. But will they get it right? I don't know. And again, if he was to lose his position here, would he have another shot at the management? Again, I think he would. And again, I don't really want. It seems to be very overcrowded, the C category here. But I think he's just one of them. He's just not that stellar. Not that. He wouldn't be one of my first choices, and I'd be probably a little bit disappointed if he became my manager of a League Two club at the moment. So Bonner, not my choice, not my cup of tea. But there are definitely worse out there. So I'm going to slide him into C. Into the next one we go, and it's over to Crew, and it is matey boy right here. It is, of course, what's his name, Lee Bell. A little bit heartbreak last time around over in the playoff final, losing out to Crawley. Good young coach. Again, you got to look at whether or not his personality would suit any other club. I think he's a perfect fit for Crew, but he's a little bit untested. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's young enough, and the football seems to be quite exciting. And I believe, Lee Bell is one to keep an eye on. I'm going to put him in the B category alongside the other guys there to make a good old account of themselves. Next up, it is this is an interesting one. It's one of those names that's been around the EFL for a while, and that's Carl Robinson, of course, formerly of Oxford. Oh, he did a tremendous job at Oxford, and a little bit hard done by not to get them over the line in the end. He's definitely a steady pair of hands, and one I would probably be looking at should an EFL League Two club was looking for a coach. This is a guy that can get you results. Right now at Salford, it's not great. They're not performing as expected, but it is a bit of a poison chalice. Is Salford? They've got those highbrow owners, of course, Neville, Scholes, etc., and they seem to crack the whip, kind of a bit Watford style with them. If they give you a season, if you can't really work it out, then you're out on your ear. So Carl Robinson will not be immune from that. He will get the axe if he can't get it right. A lot of pressure with this job, the Salford job, but I like Carl Robinson, and I rate him quite highly. I believe he is one of the best managers in this division. And of course, I think Salford are very lucky to have him. Next up, we go to Plough Lane, and it's Johnny Jackson. That's right, formerly of Charlton. So he has a little bit of experience, but of course, that's also a bit of a tough spot, tough gig. That is Charlton Athletic. Look at Nathan Jones right now, not working out for him. It started off well, as it did for Johnny Jackson, and he's doing all right here at Wimbledon, but realistically he's not got the pedigree as some of the other names here in League Two. So Johnny Jackson, despite okay sort of stuff going on with the Dons, but yeah, it's definitely a C grade, more of a vanilla. Not too sure what we're going to get with him. John Doolan next, coming at you from Accrington Stanley. They are struggling. Yeah, and I don't know too much about him. He may or may not have been a coach, but the name for myself is a little bit out there. I'm not too sure. Of course, Accrington Stanley were under the managerialship of Coleman for a while, a long time, and he delivered really good stuff for them. A lot of pressure within this well, not necessarily pressure, but big shoes to fill in that regard. And yeah, I don't know if his pedigree right now. So he is a bit of a mystery, and right now they are struggling. So with that, if that's his first job, guess what? You're going to be down there in the D's, unfortunately. So struggling right now. I, for one, was happy to see this guy return to management. Of course, Ian Holloway, definitely a face of the EFL, good success across the years, specifically his time as Blackpool coach, got them to the Premier League. But his last job prior to Swindon, which is his current, was Grimsby. It didn't really work out for him then. Can it work out for them now? It is still early days. And again, you know, a lot of these experienced coaches, their stock is on the wane. Of course, Atkins being one of them. I don't know what to do with that. It is still early, but you know, last record, Grimsby. You know, Grimsby were a tricky team. I don't know what you're going to get out of that. I'm gonna give Holloway his benefit of the doubt here. Yes, his recent run of events has not been great, but I think at the right club he can get some success. And I think he's still passionate about it. So I'm putting him in the B category. He's not an A. He was an A, of course he was. But right now I put him in B, alongside some heavy hitters there. But it's a risky B. He's probably more like if I'm honest with you, he's probably more like a D. But I believe in the guy. I also believe in this next guy at Doncaster. It's Grant McCann. And I think he is one of the underrated coaches right now. Hard done by over at, who was it? Who gave him the sack? Was it Peterborough gave him the sack? And of course he went back. Did he go back to Doncaster? Regardless, he's had good success here, and he's back again. I'm already slide him into the A. I'm not even finishing what I'm talking about. A little bit hard done by last season, but it came out of nowhere from a struggling season for Doncaster to get them into the playoffs. And I think they're definitely automatic contenders this time around. And again, if he was one of the coaches available, he would be definitely one of the top 2 or 3 names on my list. And he sits in good company in the A bracket. Another one I like quite highly, it is that of Graham Alexander. Been there, seen there, done a bit of a journeyman in regards to management. But right now, I think he has Bradford on the right track, and it could be the chosen one for Bradford. But he's got a history in the Championship, definitely League One, Scottish Premier League. He is definitely an equipped manager. I want to put him in the A, but realistically, what is missing from them is success. If he was to, you know, again, Bradford, a very poisoned chalice as well, like some other jobs around, like maybe who else was the poisoned chalice, but you know, I think if he was to get them in the playoffs and of course get them promoted, then yeah, I believe he would definitely be more than that. So I'm going to put him in the B, but he is on the verge of an A. And definitely one of the better managers in my eyes, taking over from big shoes as well from Mark Hughes. Meanwhile, what a tremendous job this guy done the past couple of seasons, and that is Derek Adams. I'm a big fan of Derek Adams, and I really want to put him high, but he has him struggling right now, Morecambe. And I think he did okay at Bradford. Again, it was a poison challenge, difficult club to manage. A lot of expectation there, but look at him. He did wonders for Morecambe, got them promoted with very limited resources. So he's got the success. He has the experience. Has he got the appeal? Probably not. Again, I really want to put him higher than this, but I'm going to have to stick him in the B. Again, a lot of people will laugh at that, but I'm a big fan of Derek Adams. And again, he did dabble with Scottish Premiership management. Came back with his tail between his legs, though, as well. So I'm going to stick him in the B. We'll see about that. Next up, we go to David Artell. He's on the books at Crewe right now. Sorry, not Crewe. Formerly of Crewe, now in the books of Grimsby. And they're doing all right. They're doing better than previously. It is still early doors there. Again, his record, his experience with Crewe was good. Does he have the appeal of some of these other names? Definitely not. And again, of course, from Gibraltar heritage, You know, probably a Gibraltar manager in the waiting, but realistically, he is a bit of a vanilla sort of coach, and it probably might even be a D coach if I'm honest with you. But might be a little bit harsh, but we've got to fill these bad boys up. Next up, I probably rate him as the best coach in the league, despite coming into this on the back of a defeat today, is Port Vale's very own Darren Moore. I was actually gobsmacked when I saw him take over this role. Yeah, he's currently doing business, though, with Port Vale at the top of the table. He's definitely A grade for me. Of course, at the end of this video, we're gonna push one of these guys into that S bracket to showcase who we actually think is the best in this division. Currently, it's between that top 4 right there. Moving over, it's of course the Crowleys. We're going to just do it by Danny. Again, the world was his oyster a couple of years back when he took over at Huddersfield, but he's not really had much joy since, or they have not had much joy since. Stock is on the decline. Currently at Colchester, I think they're running out of time. I really hoped it would have worked out for them, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. So I think the Cowleys might be done in regards to management, especially as a double act as well. There it is, Charlie Adam. He does have that appeal, like I said at the start of the show here, with his contracts or his contacts in his little black book. And Fleetwood are playing all right football, but it's all about delivering the goods on the pitch. And right now, it's more hot and cold, really. Or you know, what it's a bit of this, bit of that from Fleetwood. Not consistent enough at the moment. It is still his first time gig, so again, I'm not going to really rate him up there. I'm going to put him in the C. Jury is out. And then finally, it's of course Bromley's very own Andy Woodman. Done tremendous to get them at this stage. Again, jury is out on him because I think they're slipping down the table like a stone. But right now, I'm gonna, you know, you've got to give him credit for getting promoted, because getting from the non-league to the EFL is pretty crazy. But is he a one-trick pony? Can he manage outside of Bromley? I don't know. So we're going to give him, again, we're going to be a little bit boring here and go for the C's to complete the old grand scheme of things there. This is about right, I think. So now we're going to take a look at these A-grade candidates. There's 4 of them. Who is the best? Well, realistically, I'm narrowing it down to 2 between Grant McCann and Darren Moore. I think they are definitely the 2 best managers in this league, and definitely should be probably managing at the championship, if I'm completely honest with you. But I'm going to put Darren Moore up there. I think he's going to do great for Port Vale. He's already got them working in the right direction, and looking like they're going to get it over the line with him at the helm. So those are my gradings of the managers currently over in League 2. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down below. Of course, don't forget to smash the like, smash the subscribe. Your one-stop shop for League 2 is right here under One Rooski. We'll be back with, of course, our predictions very, very soon. But until then, subscribe. Catch you later. We are done.